Finland's Prime Minister says her country will make a decision on joining NATO within weeks. Sanna Marin is holding talks with her Swedish counterpart, Magdalena Andersson, as their countries weigh up joining the military alliance. Sweden and Finland are not members of NATO, but Marin and Andersson say Europe's security landscape has changed following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. They're now considering whether their country's security would be improved through NATO membership, but say the decision needs careful consideration.
Both Finland and Sweden make independently their decisions regarding security policy arrangements. But we do that with a clear understanding that our choices will affect not only ourselves, but our neighbors as well. Our aim is clear. We want to guarantee peace in the future for us and for our region, for Europe, and to contribute towards that aim with our own choices.
We have to analyze the situation to see what is best for Sweden's security, for the Swedish people in this new situation. And you shouldn't rush into that. You should make it very seriously. That is how I work as the Swedish Prime Minister.
DW correspondent Jack Parrick is following this story for us from Brussels, which is home to NATO headquarters. And we asked him to tell us more about Finland's decision-making process.
What we've heard now from Sanna Marin during this press conference is that the Parliament will now start their discussions on this and whether that would take a referendum in the country or not. It seems the Finnish president actually recently said that it might not take a referendum and that perhaps the Parliament should do it themselves. And that's because there's, they say, overwhelming evidence that the Finns are now in favour of NATO membership. Different polls put it somewhere between sort of 65 to 75% of Finns after the invasion of Ukraine are now in favour of joining the NATO military alliance. And both of the leaders of Sweden and Finland talked about the need or the use of Article 5 of NATO's agreements of the treaty, which is one for all defence. So if one country in NATO is attacked, then all of the other countries come to their defence. It seems that they will start those negotiations. It's a delicate balance. Finland has a 1,300 kilometre plus border with Russia. And just in the recent weeks, Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesperson, though, said that if the countries were to join, then Russia would have to rebalance the situation, and whether that would mean that Russia would then put troops up near that border with Finland, that would obviously be a concern for the people of Finland as well.
What about Sweden, Jack?
Well, from the Swedish point of view, I think we can say from that press conference they're slightly more reluctant, there's slightly more hesitancy in Stockholm. They as well, though, since the invasion of Ukraine, have seen a jump to over 60% of people wanting to join NATO. There's also the question about whether that would be done by a referendum. Sweden's EU Commissioner recently, Ylva Johansson, said that she didn't think that should be done, that actually referendums aren't necessarily the right way to make these sort of important national decisions, and also we'll remember a significant decision in the European Union when Britain decided to leave on a referendum through a slim margin, where such important decisions perhaps shouldn't always be put to the people, is the sense amongst these things. But certainly now what we're seeing is that the questions over NATO membership, both of these countries hold what's called an enhanced opportunity partnership with NATO. They are involved in some of the drills and some of their work, but now the discussions about whether they're going to join are really getting to the finer points.
DW correspondent Jack Parrick weighing in from Brussels there.